Do you play alone? This is a fascinating little solo peg game that I think will challenge your pattern recognition and foresight like no other. Hey my friend, welcome back in my game room again. Back in 2013, Games Magazine featured a game on their cover, a solitaire challenge called BoxOff, designed by Steven Meyers. The magazine didn't offer a review of the game in that issue, but they did offer a 2-page spread with a detailed description of the game and plenty of examples on how to play it. And the cover art was cleverly disguised as a puzzle to be solved, the answer drawer on 64. In addition, they offered readers puzzles to solve in succeeding editions of the Games World of Puzzles publication. That was in May of 2017, February, and October of 2018. It seems that they liked the game all right. And so did some pretty heavy hitters in what might be called the world of serious games, the kind of games that's played by mathematicians and theorists and computers and probably Vulcans. Two of these game scientists, Cameron Brown and Frederick Mayer, presented a scholarly analysis at a conference on advances in artificial intelligence, and the name of their article was A Monte Carlo Analysis of a Puzzle Game. And they liked it too. And another article appeared in the summer 2020 edition of Abstract Games Magazine. The author of that article was Kerry Hanscom, and he liked it too. BoxOff is listed in the Board Game Geek database, and there are images there of games people have put together on their own to play the game. Those folks like it too. Now, as I said, the game was designed by Steve Meyers of Cincinnati, Ohio. He designed several games. This was his first solo game. Two previous games of his, Orbit and Anchor, were also covered in the Abstract Games publication. Stephen had sent me a handmade prototype of the game so that I could try it out and see what I felt about the thing, and wouldn't you know, I liked it too. I liked it so much that we've decided that we're going to add it to our product line here at NewVenture Games. So let's get right into the rules here, and you can see how the game is played, and after this short video, then we'll talk a little bit more about what's coming. The objective is to remove all the pegs from the board, or at least as many as you can. The standard game is 4 colors on an 8x8 board, or 3 colors on a 6x8 board. I'll use the 6x8 setup for this video. The game begins with a random placement of pegs filling all 48 spaces. This exercise of randomization guarantees that no two games are ever alike, within reasonable probability. There is really only one rule. Pegs are removed which form the opposite corners of a rectangle with no intervening pegs. Here are some examples. A 2x2, a 3x4, a 5x5, a 2x7. Even a 1x2, 2 pegs adjacent to each other, is considered a rectangle in BoxOff, as well as 2 pegs in a row, which form a long, skinny rectangle. Notice that each of these rectangles has a peg within the rectangle, either on the perimeter or inside the rectangle. The pegs that make up the corners of these rectangles can't be removed because of those intervening pegs. Of course, there will inevitably be rectangles which intersect or overlap other rectangles. These are called entanglements. Entanglements introduce the real challenge to the game and require some thought. This pair of green pegs cannot be removed because this blue peg is within the rectangle. These blue pegs cannot be removed either because this green peg is within that rectangle. Now hopefully there'll be other green or blue pegs somewhere on the board that can break up this entanglement, like so. But there are more complex entanglements too, and sometimes solving them can be very, very hard to decipher. Entanglements in corners are critical and can hopefully be solved early in the game. When you work out the steps necessary to untangle these pairs, it may take you through a sequence of 4 or 5 or even more carefully executed steps. Now, removing all the pegs from the board is quite a challenge. I feel pretty good about myself if I get down to 8 or 10 pegs on the board when I'm done. Mr. Meyers offers some strategic hints about how to approach some of these millions of configurations and some strategies to follow to take care of some of those more complex entanglements with a little bit more confidence. In the words of one reviewer, definitely feels more like a game than a puzzle. And I think that's one of the reasons that I like it. It's definitely more than just your typical solitaire puzzle. In mid-October 2023, we introduced our trio of 3 BoxOff products through a Kickstarter campaign. This included the original Peg Edition, precision drilled on a 5.5-inch square hardwood board. It comes with 64 pegs in 4 different colors. That allows you to play several different game layouts. We also have our travel version, a very portable peg game, just 4 inches square, easy to pack and play just about anywhere. And finally, we created the Gem Edition. This one has a flexible game board and 64 beautiful glass gems for a more traditional board game experience. After the Kickstarter campaign, of course, all 3 will be available on the NewVenture website and through other online retailers. And so I invite you to drop on over to newventuregames.com and check that out. So thanks for tuning in again, and I want to encourage you, whether you play by yourself or with somebody, to be sure to play every day.